Hello, it's Sarah Jane from Cards and a Cuppa. I'm here today with your 2-Minute Tuesday video. Today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips that I've learned about inking the edges of your layers of card to make them stand out from the paper, to make them pop a little bit more. I've got a couple of examples here. This one shows you inking with a sponge and this one with a marker pen. So let's get on with the video. Right, for the purposes of today's video, I'm using the Lots of Labels framelits and some thick Whisper White card. Now my first tip is for the sponges. I buy the Stampin' Up sponges and cut them into quarters, and then I get the decorative label punch and cut a piece of card in the colour that you're going to use, and also write on the label, and then staple it onto the sponge so that you can easily find the colour that you need. Now I'm using Watermelon Wonder here. I don't have the Watermelon Wonder pen, so this is Cherry Cobbler, but I wanted a nice dark colour that will show up on the video. So now I'll do the sponging one first. Now remember, if your ink pad is new and really juicy, just push back the ink to the top quarter or so of the ink pad. This acts to push down the ink in this area and push it up out of the way. This way, when you stamp, you won't get bubbles or anything on your image. You just use your bone folder for that, and then I'm just going to clean that up with a wet wipe in a minute. So you take your sponge, and then, because this is quite a vibrant colour, not so much with the pastel, but certainly with the darker colours, I'm going to dab it on the ink pad and then dab it a couple of times onto the grid paper before I ink, and this way I'm not going to end up with a big glob of dark colour. Now you just go around the edges. Now I'm going in a downward motion, but I go away and towards myself each time so that I get a good even distribution of colour and effect. Don't want anything too dark. You're looking for a sort of a softly inked edge. I mean, the chances of you doing this watermelon colour on white card are probably slim, but when you do it straight onto watermelon card, so the light colour card to ink, it really does make it pop out, especially if you don't want to cut an extra layer of framelits to make it stand out. If you just ink the edges and then put it on dimensionals, it'll just pop off your card. So that's the sponging edge. Now for this marker edge, this gives you a much more crisp, clear edge, just to make something, it's probably better for, I think I use it more for more modern cards or clean and simple. So as long as you remember, if this is the side you're going to stamp on or stick your image on, keep that facing up, and then keep your pen facing upwards too, and then just run it along the edge. Now you can go all the way around the edge like that. If you keep the side you want showing up and the marker pen you want that you're using pointing upwards, so just remember everything up, and that way if you slip and you go, as you go around a corner, you're going to go under, and you're going to end up with a mark on the back, but you're not going to see that. So this way you get you got no trouble, especially if you've stamped your image first, you're less likely to mess it up. So that gives you quite a good border. But if you want to step that up, I mean, if that's on white card, let me just show you on white card, it gives you just enough of a hint of colour that you're not gonna particularly notice it, but it's going to make it pop for you. Now if you do want to see a little bit more of that colour, turn your pen at an angle and then just go around the edges, right around the edges once more, remembering it's sort of upwards. So even so, if you slip, you're going to slip under again, even with this method. I recommend doing the outside edge first and then doing this, because if you just do this, you're going to end up with white edges, and that doesn't look so great. So there it is. It just makes it stand out just a little bit more against a plain background. So let's have another look at the cards. Now I find that the sponged edges sort of lends itself to heavier decoration, and so I've added a little bit of silver thread on this as well as the rhinestones. And this one with the marker pen, I've just used white perfect accents just to give it a little bit of a decoration without being too heavy. So I hope this helped with any inking issues or ideas that you were wondering about, and thanks for watching today.